Hi everyone, my name is Angela from Angela Stitches and welcome back to my channel. So I only worked on 2 projects yesterday and started a new blog from Halloween at Hawkhorn Hollow. But before I started my new blog, I got to the other end of the witches, so I was able to start my new blog right next to it. And I didn't work on the Headless Horseman, so that's exactly the same. The black branches and the bird on top, because I wanted to stitch Dracula. And look how creepy he is. I think it looks so cool and also kind of comical. So I started on his face right away, and I really love the colors that I chose just because of the names. So for his face, I thought this was really appropriate, and it's called Bone by Color and Cotton. And this was one of the flosses that was in the Halloween boxes a couple of years ago. And then I haven't done this yet, but I'm going to stitch his mouth with this red, and I know it's a little dark, but I really want to use this in this blog because it's called Dracula, also again by Color and Cotton. And I'm actually sad that there isn't any more red in this blog, but I get to use it, so. And then after Halloween at Hawkhorn Hollow, I worked on the angel from the Bride's Tree Ornaments series. So I got a little bit of the blue on her dress done, and I didn't realize this, but the star in the middle are filled with beads. There are some cross stitches, but a lot more beads than I thought there was, so I might run out of those beads. So I'm gonna have to get more of those later, but I really like beading, so I might do the beading even before I finish all of the cross stitches. And then, oh, I've also got one of the flowers stitched as well. And I only worked on this for 30 minutes, and I will continue to stitch 30 minutes on this until I finish this. And yeah, and then I think I might work on this later today, but also on something else. I think I will start the pink house today. I don't know yet. I don't know how much time I'll have later, but it would be nice to start the pink house tonight. But I want to talk about some books because I got these 2 horror manga a while ago by Junji Ito. And I got 2 of his work, and it's called Kyo and the other one Uzumaki, I think. And Uzumaki is about spirals, and then Kyo is about a fish. And it's supposed to be horror manga, so I'm really excited to read this. I was going to read 20th Century Boys again because I have the whole collection, but it's like 25 books, so I'm gonna start this instead because these are new to me and I really like the drawing style. It's really dark and creepy, so I'm going to start reading this. Not sure when, but because I'm still reading the other books. But yeah, just wanted to share that with you. And if you haven't read the 20th Century Boys, it's really good. It's kind of creepy and scary, but also futuristic, if that makes sense. And it's one of my favorite mangas. So I really recommend 20th Century Boys if you're into mangas. But yeah, and it's already October 17th, and I still haven't even worked on half of what I wanted to work on in October. So I'm definitely going to continue with my Halloween projects throughout November, and I like all of the projects that I started and working on right now, and some new small projects that I'm planning on starting. So yeah, so tonight I think I'll work on Dracula just a little bit because I really want to stitch with that red. And if I can, I'm gonna start the pink house. So it's Sunday morning, and yesterday I worked on my angel, and I don't know if you can see it here because of the shadows, but I worked on the vines here, and then also on her dress. And you can see like the star forming, and I think I'm gonna finish the blue on her dress first, and then do the beading and the cross stitches in the star. And I'm gonna do those all at the same time, because I'm going to be using white for the beading anyways, so it'll save me some time if I work on those all at once. So yeah, I'm gonna work on this again today, later tonight maybe. And then usually I go to the studio on Sundays to work and then rest on Mondays. But it's so nice out today, I think I'm gonna stay home and go to the park instead and get more stitching done later tonight. So after the angel, I worked on my Halloween at Hawkhorn Hollow. And I worked on Dracula last night. Oh, this is the chart. But I only got his mouth done and his collar, so he now has everything, well, almost everything that shows that he's Dracula. But I did make some mistakes, but it's pretty hard to tell. I just made it work, so I'm not even going to point that out. But that was really fun to stitch. So I'm gonna go back to him later, but tonight I think I want to get across to the other side on this one, the Headless Horseman, so that I can start another one right next to it, right here. And I'm thinking about, I actually want to start the haunted house, but that's kind of difficult to start from the upper left. So, well, the skeleton is full coverage, so I'm gonna do that in a different basic fabric. So I guess the scarecrow. I still need to do some counting to get to the crow, but I think I'll start that one once I get to the other side. Because I think this seems a lot of stitches to count, but I'll just start that here once I get to the other side. And there's a lot of oranges here, so I think I'm gonna try to use all of the oranges that I have in Coloring Cotton on this one, just to give some variety in the pumpkins. I think that'll look really cool. And then after Dracula, I started my pink house. So I only got started on this corner of the border, and this is what it's going to look like when it's done. And I think it's really pretty, but I don't know, I'm not really into this quote here. So I think I'm just going to cut that off and not stitch the quote and have the border down here. And I think I can make that work. I'm just going to bring the border down here. And maybe not stitch the name either and have it empty. And I'm gonna shorten these just a little bit so that this space isn't too empty up here. And then maybe I'll do this, these flowers here in a separate piece and turn it into a small ornament because I really like the flowers. So that's the plan. And again, like always, I'm doing a coloring cotton conversion. And this only calls for a couple of colors, so these are all of the colors that I need to stitch this. But I'm just hoping that I don't run out of the pink. But I think it'll be okay, and if I run out, I'll just replace it with DMC. So yeah, and then the fabric I'm using is 40 count, and it's called Love Letters by Coloring Cotton, and I was actually saving this for a Mirabilia, but I'm not going to stitch any Mirabilias or start any this year, so I just decided to use this for the pink house, and I think it looks really nice. So yeah, that's all the update that I have for you today. So I think I'm going to go to the park and just enjoy the weather today. So last night I got to the other end of this block, and this is the block with the horseman, and I still need to connect the bar up here, but this is what I was working on, the top here. And that surprisingly took very little time. I think it only took 30 minutes, so that was really fast. So later tonight I'm going to start the next block, and if I can, I'm gonna work on Dracula just a little bit. Like on his coffin maybe, I don't know, but I'm gonna work on that later. But after I worked on the horseman, I worked on the angel again for 30 minutes. So I finished the vines and the flowers here. I still need to do the leaves, but all the flowers on this side is finished. And I did a couple of stitches on her dress, So yeah, that's all the stitching I got done last night because I went to the park yesterday and just walked around the neighborhood and saw a lot of cats, and they were all also enjoying the weather, so that was really nice to see. People were playing with them, feeding them, but on our way home, I went to Baskin Robbins, and I haven't been to Baskin Robbins in like, I don't know, probably 2 years or even more than that, I don't know. But maybe you already saw the clips because when I put this video together, I'll probably put it before this clip. But they had this ice cream set with the Joker, and I just really like the thermal cup that came with it. And I always use one at the studio, and I really like the Joker. Probably more than Batman, to be honest. So we got some ice cream, and it was just a nice day, and I really like mint chocolate ice cream. Um, so I got that, but I know some people really hate it. I think it's something that people really like or really hate. Um, well, I like it just because when I was in middle school, okay, so a little story time, and I'll put a timestamp here so you can just skip this if you're not interested in the story, but it's not something I'm proud of, but I don't know, I got away with it so many times, but I used to skip school some days just to get ice cream from Baskin Robbins with my friends, and there was a mall, and the mall's still there. I don't think Baskin Robbins is in the mall, but they used to have this event where they would sell ice cream, like one scoop on a cone for 101, which is less than 10 cents, and they had it pretty often. So we would skip class for that, and it would go on just for an hour during like right after school lunchtime, so 1 till 2. So we would sneak out at lunch because no one's at the gate during lunch, or only kids at the soccer field, and we would just skip the afternoon classes and I never got caught or got in trouble for it. And my parents never found out. I actually told them a couple of years ago, and they had no idea. And I think it's because most of the time I was a good kid. And if I'm not in class, the teachers just thought I had a good reason to. I don't know. And I was also the class, I don't think there is an equivalent in English, but I was part of the student council. Um, so every class in Korea, so school in Korea is different from the States because the students stay in the classrooms and we have the same classmates for the whole year. And it's the teachers that comes and goes to the classrooms for different subjects. So we never leave our classrooms unless it's PE or chemistry or music where we need another classroom. And each class has a small student council that leads the class. So there's class president or the class leader, I guess, and then vice leader, and there's also someone called sondobu. And that's what I was during 8th or ninth grade. And each grade has, depending on the school, it has 12 to 13 classes, and each class has 30 to 35 students. So every class has a small council like that, and each year they would choose the whole class council for each grade. So that was the big deal. I wasn't in the main council, just the one in the classrooms. And Sondobu is someone who I don't remember exactly what my job was, but in Korea we wear school uniforms during middle school and high school. So I would be the one to check at the gate in the morning if everyone is wearing it properly with their name tags and check their hairs if it's too long or if it's colored. Um, no earrings, no makeup, and if they're late, I made the list and small things like that. So I guess it wasn't weird for me to sometimes sneak out the gate, I don't know. But I always got mint chocolate chip every time, and I think that's why I really like it because I don't know, it just tastes better when you sneak out and get it with your friends. So, and I also think I think they only had a couple of flavors that they were selling for 10 cents and mint chocolate chip was one of them. And now that I'm older, I think they had those events so that they could get rid of them faster. And I think that just stuck with me. So, yeah, every time I get Baskin Robbins, I remember sneaking out with my friends and getting ice cream for 10 cents. So, yeah, that's just a little random story about me in middle school. So, anyways, yeah, I'm gonna have to go to the studio today because I got a pretty big order. It's bigger than my usual amount that I sell, so that's super exciting. So, I'm going to work on that and stitch when I come back later tonight. So I got a lot done on the angel. I just outlined the dress so that I can just work on filling in without having to look at the chart. And that kind of speeds up the process, especially if it's something like this where it's just solid stitching. So now all I need to do is fill in the dress and the star and the back stitching here. And oh, I also did the leaves here. So there is back stitching and beading throughout the whole piece, like on the flowers and also on the angel's face and also on the dress. So yeah, and I think I'm gonna just try to work on this today and try to finish it. I'm probably going to run out of the beads, but I'm gonna try to finish everything else. So super excited about finishing this. After this, I only have one left to finish, the Santa, and then in December, I'm gonna fully finish all 12 of them into ornaments. So yeah, super excited about that. And this is the picture. So it's really cute with the back stitching of the stars on the side. I think that's my favorite part of this design. And little details with the beads. I think it's really cute. So after this, I really liked working on a small hoop. So another one that I have on the hoop is my October birthday cake. So I worked on the second layer of the cake and that's all I got done on this. There's another layer on top that looks like a cupcake. So yeah, this is also really fun to work on. So yeah, that's all the stitching that I have right now, and I'm gonna try to finish this tonight. So I only worked on this angel last night, and I didn't really work on anything else. And I'm almost done with it. I finished all of the cross stitches and the back stitching, like the leaves here, the stars, and her face. And I also did the beading, except for the star in the middle. And the star is stitched with, well, it calls for white cross stitches, and every other stitch is a bead. I was thinking instead of using up all of the beads that I have, so I have a lot more white here, but this is how much I have left of this champagne color for the star, and this is clearly not enough. And I still need some for my last piece, like the Santa. So because I'm in a budget, I don't really feel like getting a whole new thing of beads. So I'm just going to cross stitch the star with something similar in color. So I have these, and I'm going to outline the heart with cross stitches with this white color, and this is called Tusk. And then fill in the rest of the star with this color, and this is called Peach Cobbler. And it's a really pretty color with some variation, so I think that's going to look really pretty. And I'm outlining the heart in the middle with white because I want the pink heart to be visible. So after that, this will be finished. And I think I like that idea better than getting another thing of beads, so that's the plan, and I'm going to end the video here. But before that, I want to quickly talk about what I'll be working on after I finish the angel. So I have two projects in mind, and one of them is a whip, and so this is Nightmare by Courtney Collection, and I'm going to work on this, and I'm still on the first page, so I'm going to try to finish that first page before I move on to my next whip. And this is on a 40 count called Patina by Color and Cotton, and I'm using a Silks for You silk, so I'm going to work on this, but I'm also going to start a new project, and I'm actually really excited about this, and it is my autumn sampler. And I actually almost forgot about this, but I really want to get this started because I don't know, I think this is the perfect project to work on in October and November. I don't really care which season I work on seasonal stuff, but if I'm going to start this, I think this week will be perfect. So I already have the fabric, and this was a kit, so I have all of the DMC in here. So yeah, all I need to do is just start stitching. So super excited about this, and yeah, I guess that's it for this video. I hope everyone is doing really well, and if you have any questions, let me know in the comment section and I'll answer them in my next video. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!